The newly instated Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif is yet to announce his cabinet. While there is no final word on the likely ministers, the leaders of the Pakistan People's Party, that is the PPP, have now reportedly suggested 4 names. And all these are for different portfolios within the new government. The PPP leaders held a session at the party president Asif Ali Zardari's residence. To rescue the portfolios for the new government, the members suggested that the Benazir Income Support Program should be given to the member Sherry Rahman. Syed Khurshid Ahmed Shah's name also came to fore for the communication department in particular, while Naveed Qamar has now been suggested for the petroleum cabinet. And the Ministry of Human Rights was asked to be given to Shazia Mari. These names have not yet been finalized, but Bilawal Bhutto is most likely to be appointed as the next foreign minister of Pakistan. He happens to be the chairperson of the Pakistan People's Party, of course, and in the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz Party, the PPP's 3 members are likely to get the particular slots as ministers, while 4 could be appointed as state ministers. During the sessions, the members also recommended giving in the Interior Ministry to the PMLN leader Rana Sanaullah, while Planning and Development Ministry was recommended for Aslan Iqbal. Now, let's get you a little bit more information about what's happening in the political landscape in Pakistan as of now. It was recommended to give 2 ministries, including the Ministry of Maritime Affairs, to Muttahida Qawmi Movement Pakistan. Shehbaz Sharif became the Prime Minister on April 11th following the ouster of Imran Khan through and after losing the no-confidence motion. An earlier report suggested that Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has now decided to add 12 National Assembly members of the PMLN and 7 members of the PPP to his federal cabinet. Meanwhile, Raja Parvez Ashraf of the Pakistan People's Party has been elected unopposed as the Speaker of the National Assembly. The Speaker's office fell vacant after Asad Kaisar tendered his resignation last week. The PPP continues to be the lone contender for the opposition, since no other contender had submitted nomination papers against him. Meanwhile, ahead of the session, the National Assembly Deputy Speaker, that is Qasim Suri, had resigned. And in a statement, the PTI member said that the decision to resign symbolizes his party's vision. And earlier, the joint opposition had filed a no-trust vote against the Deputy Speaker, alleging him being a bit biased towards the PTI government. The resignation came just hours before the no-confidence motion, which has been crucial at this point. Now, for more details about what's actually happening in the Pakistan political landscape, our Pakistan Bureau Chief Anas Malik now joins us live. Anas, thanks so much for joining us. My first question to you, what can you tell us about the political landscape in Pakistan as it stands as of now, and what does it mean for the people of Pakistan in particular?
Well, it's a looming crisis. The political turmoil is a looming crisis here in Pakistan for one very reason. There's uncertainty, there's chaos, and chaos can lead to anarchy as well. Chaos leads to anxiety, and anxiety eventually leads to anarchy. And that's what we're seeing today. The Speaker of the House has been elected. The Speaker has given a ruling basically striking down the decision by the Deputy Speaker, which called for accepting the resignations of PTI member parliaments. The PTI is continuously holding protests, en masse protests. Today they are scheduled to hold a grand protest in the city of Karachi, the biggest city of Pakistan. So as we speak, there is political uncertainty. 5 days on since Shehbaz Sharif has taken oath, the cabinet is yet to be announced. As I said, this political chaos or this political uncertainty might lead to anxiety, and that can create some sort of unrest, a reflection of of which we saw today in the Punjab Assembly as well, and it has been echoed by the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's former Information Minister Fawad Chaudhry, he has said that all of the situation and scenario is going towards a civil unrest, and that is something that should be avoided. Yesterday, while I was talking to him in an exclusive conversation with WION, Fawad Chaudhry had maintained that he foresees elections happening in the next 8 weeks. So as I said, there is a lot of drama, there's a lot of political uncertainty, and God forbid, all of this can possibly lead to some chaos as well.
Right, absolutely, Anas. Now let's talk about what's actually happening on ground in Pakistan as we speak. We've been reporting on the economic crisis in Pakistan. We've also been reporting on the political upheaval that is still ongoing. But let's talk about what the people of Pakistan want. There's a change of guard, there's a new Prime Minister. But having said that, do the people of Pakistan trust in their new governance? And also, will this lead to a resolution of the economic crisis, which is at its peak as we speak?
Well, the first question, Priyanka, answering your first question, whether the people of Pakistan trust this government, that's a very subjective or a figurative question. You go to pockets which were held by PTI, you would find greater opposition to this government or to the incumbent government. You go to pockets that are ruled by the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz or have been historically held by the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, and you'd see greater support for this government. So that's relative and rather very subjective as to where and who you are talking to. There is a divided opinion in general public with regards to the legitimacy of this government. But having said that, on to the answer to your second question, this government has said that it has considerable plans. I was part of that interaction on Tuesday when Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, on his first day in the office, held an iftar dinner with journalists, and he said that they've got two pointer strategy. First is the short-term plan, which is going to be implemented immediately with regards to economy, and the second is the long-term plan. So prima facie, if this government is allowed to function or if they continue to function in an ideal most manner, then possibly what they believe or what they claim is that yes, they have the solution to the deepening or worsened economic situation that Pakistan is currently under. Priyanka?
Right, absolutely. Anas Malik, our Pakistan Bureau Chief, getting us all the latest updates about what's actually happening on ground in Pakistan as we speak. Thanks so much for joining us on WION at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.